We are the keepers of the flame, the sacred order. Let the ceremony begin. And today, faithful acolytes, we take a look at this. And what this is from CaJohn's Fiery Foods. It is the Tiki Bar Torch hot sauce, guys. So the previous week, we took a look at its brother, the Tiki Bar Hotter hot sauce. This is the Torch. Now, the other one they had pegged as hot, which was not true. This one, they are pegging as extra hot. And there you can kind of see a little bit of the background if you are interested in that. And of course, we have our ingredient panel right here, guys. Feel free to pause the screen, but I will read it to you. So, guys, in fact, let me just show you this. These are identical. They are the same ingredients completely. And as you can see, guys, they are identical ingredients. Pause the screen if you want to compare it. But all the way right down to the order, guys. And so this is a little bit lighter of a label. And the ratios obviously are different because this is, as I wrote in the written review, guys, which you can find below in the description, this is a notably hotter sauce than is the hotter hot sauce. So the Torch is, as you would expect, it's a hotter sauce. So the other one I think is listed, yeah, it doesn't have the X hot on it, so it's not the extra hot. And this one is slightly runnier than the other one. And we will be doing a side-by-side comparison, guys, coming up in the video, so stay tuned for that. So you can see it's still very gloppy, very sticky. And let's call it good right there. So you can get a good look at it. It's nowhere near as dark. Label's lighter. It is slightly runnier. You can see it's this kind of brown. This is a little bit paler than a lot of teriyakis or soy sauces. And I can't show you how it goes in the spoon because unfortunately I put too much in here. Let's put a little off to the side here, guys, so you can take a look here. Now you can see how it slides. It's definitely a nice looking sauce. You can see there's little bits of pepper and stuff like that in it, guys. So let's down the old hatch. First thing I get is soy sauce, followed by a pretty notable blast of whatever the pepper is. It's a red one. I'm guessing. I wish they would mark it. It's not. Maybe it might be like a red Savina habanero, something like that. This is kind of a cheat. By having ingredient labels that say the same thing on it, chilies, you don't know what it is. So you can say, well, it's the exact same order. And I think the base sauce is the same. But even if the ingredient is towards the end of it, as it is here, guys, with the second chiles, even if that's the case, guys, it's a huge difference if, let's say the chiles are jalapeno in this one, the hotter hot sauce, and they're habanero in this one. That's a very marked difference in terms of both flavor and heat, even if you're putting it that far back there. So it definitely is, but it's not. I don't think it's habanero, guys, because it's a soft heat. It's a blast and then it dissipates. It actually really reminds me of the red habanero sauce from El Yucateco. Whereas you get it, it's a blast first right when you get it, and it's gone literally seconds later, which is exactly what this one did. You just catch a night, and it's not a heavy blast. It's not eyes watering, oh my golly gashkins, it's 13 million SHU sort of blast. Nothing like that. This is basically, you just get a nice little solid blast of heat to let you know it's there, and then it dissipates, guys. If you compare the two written reviews I did for these, the heat, I believe on that one I gave a 2. This one I think I gave a 3. So it's moderate. I'm not 100% sure which peppers they're using. Obviously there's red chunks in here. And it is possible, guys, that they just used a more concentrated form of the same pepper. I'm not 100% sure. The flavor profile is a lot different, though. This one is a lot closer to a teriyaki sauce, the torch sauce is. The other one is very, very fruit forward, like I was saying. So let's, over here, guys, I've got some Spam musubi. Now, Spam musubi, if you guys eat a lot of Hawaiian food, you already know what it is. Spam musubi is basically more or less a Hawaiian version of sushi with Spam as the meat rather than a fish. Usually you see these completely wrapped in the nori. This particular one is definitely more along the lines of a nigiri. And it's kind of a pain to eat like this. I prefer them wrapped in nori because they tend to hold together a little bit better as long as the nori is not completely dried out. So let's do a comparison here. So I'm gonna throw that on here, and this one's on its last legs. This is the hotter hot sauce, and ooh, let me just pour it all over my fingers. Let me just throw it on there, and I'll get this back in front of you guys. It's all full in the cap. I should have done that better. So okay, here we go. Let's get this. Fortunately, I have trusty paper towels here. So let's get that out of there, and we'll see if we can get a couple more drops out of it. The good sauces, guys, if you're like me, you're trying to squeeze every little last bit of goodness that you can. So right here's the torch sauce. Right here, guys, is the hotter hot sauce. So you can see this one is definitely notably darker. It also is a little bit chunkier, and it's considerably sweeter. So there's not a huge color difference. Hopefully, guys, it came through what I was trying to show you. But in my written review, I talked about musubi being a really good choice for the hotter hot sauce, guys. In the actual video support for it, if you guys have seen that, if not, it's the one right before this one. If you've seen that, you saw that I used chicken strips. Honestly, partially because I forgot that I had pegged musubi, and partially because the grocery store was closer than the nearest place that has musubi. So let's just hit that one real quick and get that out of the way. So here we go. This is the hotter hot sauce on the musubi. That is excellent. That works really, really well with the saltiness of the Spam. All right, so let's go here. This is with the torch. Getting that initial pepper blast again. Followed by a little bit more of the soy, orders reverse. Let's try the torch again. Yeah, I think for this, actually, the Tiki, the hotter hot sauce actually works better. The sweetness of it, wow, that really works well. This this torch sauce here, it also works pretty well. However, whoa, see, this is the problem with not having nori around the whole thing. You start to get rice sliding and everything here. Let's see if I can. The problem with that one, guys, let's get into an extended food discussion. I'll tell you why. So, this one, Catching that little bit of the blast furnace right there doesn't really work super well with sushi, and I'll tell you why. Sushi is meant to be a food of balance and a food of subtleties and things like that. Getting kicked in the teeth really detracts from the flavor of everything else. So as far as like this one, it doesn't really work. This torch sauce doesn't work as well with the milder and softer things like sushi, the more subtle thing. It really needs a food that can stand up to a little bit more aggressive flavoring, which this is. Despite having the same ingredient panel, this is a much more aggressive flavoring system than was the hotter hot sauce. It's not, see, you can do this. You can go crazy over saucing it. And I'm just going to try this just to see how this goes. So there, you can catch the sweetness with the soy. If you can catch the sweetness with the soy, it does rather nicely. I got some back of the throat burn a little bit there. That'll go away here probably by the time I finish dipping this other one. And yeah, it's gone. So, we'll try it one more time. I'm going to try to take a bigger bite here, just not as much sauce, and see if that can balance it out a bit. So this works better if you can eat it in a way so that the sauce isn't hitting your tongue first. Honestly, I think it's just because of the simpleness of this food. There's not a lot here. It's furikake, there's nori, there's rice, there's Spam. That's it. There's not a whole conjunction of flavors going on there. But this one's good. This one, overall, I like better than the other one. So the heat and the soy sauce read better in this one. It's got the same sweet soy sauce as the other one. That one, you can definitely get a lot more of the tropical fruits. The mango, and particularly the pineapple, show up really well in the other sauce. This one, it just kind of melds into almost like a smoothie. It just kind of all melds together into a flavor that you would recognize as tropical, but not as individual fruits, if that makes any sense. So, but there it is. This one definitely lends a lot more towards the pepper flavor and pepper spikiness of that. And it still isn't got the exact balance I like, but I think overall, especially for chicken strips, this is a better selection. But if you're going for more subtle foods that don't have a heavy flavor profile, this hotter hot sauce, I mean, this is the second bottle I bought. By no means is that a bad sauce. That one is excellent as well. So, but if you want a little bit more punch to it, definitely go with this torch sauce. So there we are. This is the support video for CaJohn's Tiki Torch hot sauce. The written review is available in the description if you guys want to check that out. And you can click to the rest of the blog from there if you're interested in that. Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.